The person changes his profession according to the dasha. This can be observed if you do statistically a survey. Okay, people's nature change as per dasha, people's profession change as per dasha. This is Vimshotri dasha. There are many Ashtotri dasha, many types of dashas. The most popular dasha system is Vimshotri dasha, where we add up the periods given to each planet to 120 years. Okay, like we sequentially give planets from the time you're born. Okay, like for example, sun has 6 years, Venus has 20 years, like that. And you add up, before in the previous generations, the average age of a person was 120 years. He used to easily live 110, 120, 130 years. Okay, so they've added it up for 120 years cycle. After that, again the cycle repeats, like you we have done in numerology, 45 years cycle. Okay,
Yeah, 45, yes.
after that again the cycle repeats, like that. But this is not like 1 year for sun, 2 years for moon. It's not like that. Okay, according to certain calculations, the period in which they complete one revolution around the sun, they've calculated it and they've given the periods. That period list I will share with you later. But what I'm telling you is, very important point is, dasha is extremely important. Dasha is extremely important. Though we are doing nadi, we always have to pay attention to dasha.
Acha, for Nadi calculation, Dasha is important. That's what
No,
you're
no,
saying.
no. For nadi calculations, we don't consider dasha at all. We consider cycles. But what I'm urging you is, I will tell you when the time comes, we will discuss about nadi cycles, progressions. Okay, but I'll also urge you, because nadi is a derivative. Nadi is an application, but the basic is Vedic, Parashari Jyotish. If you look at KP, you may specialize in Germany. It is like, first year you do all subjects, and second year onwards you do specialization. So, so what I urge you is, anytime, any type of astrology you may practice, have an eye on the dasha. And one more thing I'm telling you is, dasha is the environment. When the dasha changes, the complete environment of the person surrounding him, his life changes. When the dasha changes, person's nature changes, person's habits change, person's profession also change in many circumstances.
True.
For example, a person in Rahu Dasha will be more money oriented. This I'm telling very, very generically, generic property. Okay,
That is
it
on
again,
Antardasha as well as Dasha, right?
no, not Antardasha. I'm talking about Dasha.
Acha, okay.
Antardasha are the sub periods. Okay, but the most powerful person, the powerful force during the Dasha period is the Dasha Lord. Okay, if Dasha does not favor an event, the event will not fructify, or he has to be at least neutral, or he has to be positive. But if it's negative for a particular event, it will not happen, and the dasha can go on for as long as 20 years.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So the
Then how about that moon Dasha 10 years, like,
yes, yes, that, no, that is there, but try to understand, when the dasha lord comes in play, the profession changes. For example, I'll give you a a very generic example. Generally, in Rahu Dasha, people are more, they run behind money. They are more towards money. Their mindset is not religious. They are more modern. Okay, they live a very, you know, modern lifestyle,
materialistic life.
materialistic life, to certain extent, towards perversion. Okay, they drink, they indulge in all vices, generally, not necessarily, generally. Okay, when the guru dasha comes, this is also generally guru in good dignity. Okay, it comes, person tend to be more spiritual, more religious, more organized. Okay, his earning may be less, but his saving will be more. In Rahu dasha, his earning will be more, his expenditure will be much more. He may earn 3 lakhs per month and he may spend 3 lakh 50,000 in Rahu. In Guru Dasha, that fellow will do less efforts, very optimum. He will earn 1 lakh rupees, he'll save 80,000 rupees. Okay, in Shani Dasha, person tends to age fast. because Shani is the significator of old age, old people. Okay, during Shani Dasha, the person will gray his hair, he'll start looking older, matured. Okay, his outlook will be more matured. Okay, he will go towards Saturn related professions, or the professions related to the rashis in which Saturn is sitting. You understand? For example, Jupiter is sitting in my fifth house. Okay, Jupiter is the Karaka of teaching, fifth house is education. So the probability of me getting into teaching related business or job gets higher in Jupiter Dasha. Or in my same line, I may get into training and development during Jupiter Dasha. Okay, I've been into senior management. Okay, I've been into senior management. Then when the Jupiter Dasha starts, my top management says that why don't you head the training and development department and you also train in the process. So I have 10 trainers below me, okay, and I'm taking care of training and development for Pan India, and I am also into training. I also, okay, half of my day, I go and address batches. Generally, in Shani Dasha, a person becomes a workaholic person. He gets very serious about his profession. If Shani is in good dignity, if Shani in bad dignity, he gets into drinks. Rahu and Shani is very, very common. He gets into alcoholism, prostitution, all vices, and gambling. When Rahu is in bad dignity. Even when Rahu is exalted and good dignity, even then, slight propensity towards these things will always be there. Okay, this I'm talking very generic, very generic. Okay, again we have to be very, very, very focused, and we have to analyze very deeply for results. But generally, the 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 professions activated by the planet and the natural professions of the planet. Okay, for a particular chart, the professions which are activated by that particular planet in D1 chart and D10 chart, Lagna and Dashamsha, or Chandra Kundali, and the natural professions of that planet also, they tend to get activated. Okay, unless the profession of the person is extremely, fixed. Okay, even then the propensity will change. That you have to keep it in mind, because Dasha is the ultimate power, Dasha Lord. Ultimate power. Okay, that has to be kept in mind, because when the Dasha changes, the profession changes many, many times. Or the nature of profession changes. For example, you are a IPS officer. Okay, you are a policeman in a senior position. Now, during the Mangal Dasha, you are more into action. Okay, you're more into action. When the Jupiter Dasha comes, you may start heading the training institute. You may start training people. Okay, Jupiter is sharing of knowledge. Okay, or you may get into a research wing. You may get into intelligence. Do you understand? Intelligence, I can again attribute it to Rahu. The hidden secret intelligence and secret operations, I can attribute it to Rahu. In the Rahu Dasha, in a person who was in a senior police position, he may get into IT cell. He may head the IT cell. IT is again Rahu. So the government job and the police designation and the police job is the same, but the nature of the job is changing according to Dasha. Are you understanding? In police, one thing is doing encounters and curbing criminals, and the action part of it, the aggressive action. Okay, and there is
The
one.
government, if you see that some Dasha, that I mean that they will get benefit out of it. Huh?
I'm sorry, come again, sir.
No, I'm saying for government, they don't change their position for years together. So is it that because
Very,
of Sun Dasha?
very powerful sun, sir. Very powerful sun in the natal chart. Very powerful sun. The sun being connected to the 10th house, 10th lord, and Saturn. So they are blessed with that kind of a career. And again, depends on the dasha and dasha. When the dasha changes, the entire story changes. The entire script changes. That is what I'm trying to say. Nadi you're applying, but you have to keep an eye on the Parashari first. You have to analyze acha, what Dasha is going on first. There is even Jaimani Dasha, very Charadasha it's called. That's also extremely effective. See, I suggest, okay, at an very advanced level, when you reach that level, generally people who have very good knowledge in astrology, they check 2 to 3 dashas. They don't depend on one dasha because certain, again, that's a very deep subject. For certain lagnas, we have certain dashas, and it again changes and depends on the situation. Certain aspects are highlighted by certain dashas. So, the dasha analysis, that itself is another very deep subject. Okay, let's not get into it, but basic thing is you have to check the Vimshotri Dasha, specifically Vimshotri Dasha. You have to check. You have to check what he's undergoing. You look at the planet and Karaka Tattva of the planet. If he's into Rahu, Shani, and in Shani, in Rahu Dasha, is undergoing a Sadesati, then things become challenging. Kiran sir, am I right?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Am I right? You are undergoing Shani Dasha in that Sadesati.
Yes.
Okay, Sadesati in Rahu Dasha, Sadesati in Shani Dasha. Generally, most of the time, I will not say generally, most of the time makes it very challenging. Most of the time. Exceptional cases are there, about 20% cases in which their Saturn is very nicely positioned. That is the time it goes on well. But when the overlapping happens, when the multiple forces, indicate a particular event, Dasha is also indicating, Charadasha is also indicating, the cycle is also indicating, the progression is also indicating, Gochar is also indicating, then it becomes more probable that the life gets miserable and the intensity of misery increases. That's the reason you have to see, Guru, okay, you're getting support from somewhere. From Gochar, you're getting support. From Dasha is bad, but Gochar, you're getting support. Okay, fine. Things get little better. Because these are all parallel forces working concurrently. So when the dasha changes, the nature of the job changes, or the complete profession changes altogether. Complete profession. You see people after 40s, okay, they change their profession 180 degrees. A person who was into sales and marketing, he was heading in top multinational company, gets into music. Okay, a person who was into mathematics teaching does law. Opposites, I'm talking about opposites. He was into science and logical and mathematical. He's getting into art subjects.
For me also, the last 22 years I have been in finance and supply chain. Now company is asking me to take care of the business growth.
Exactly. When we look at your dasha, we will understand that. That's what happens. That's exactly what happens. Even astrology comes into picture. Even astrology, you're studying astrology and you'll be practicing astrology for the forthcoming years. So person who was into uh, highly technical subjects like finance and finance management and accountancy, you're getting into most metaphysical subjects like astrology. So dasha analysis, giving attention to dasha becomes extremely important. Okay, that's what I wanted to signify. Keep it in mind, the dasha, you have to look at the dasha, what the person is undergoing. Because that will tell you a lot of things. The person has a fantastic kundali. The person has more than half a dozen Rajogs in his kundali. But is having a miserable life at this point of time. None of your predictions are coming true. You're telling you have dhani yog, money will always be there, and you'll have recognition, and you'll have name and fame, and not a single thing is matching with his current state. He's telling no for everything. Then you'll have to look at dasha, because out of the 9 planets, he has one bad planet, and that one bad planet dasha got activated. You understand? One niche planet he has, and that niche planet dasha got activated. Suppose Venus is very bad condition in his chart, and Venus dasha goes on for 20 years. His dasha got activated. And all your predictions are going wrong, because from 20 to 40 his life is gone. Okay? That is one instance. Another instance is a person has Venus dasha. Venus is in very bad dignity in the chart. And Venus is coming from his 120th to 140th year. So it really doesn't matter if my Venus is bad. Okay, physiologically, Venus related organs of mine may get affected. Venus related aspects of in my life may get affected, but I will not have a bad time in my life. You understand? Because by the time Venus Dasha gets activated, I would have died and taken the next Janma also.
So which one to follow for Dasha? Is it numerology or astrology?
Both,
Because in
both.
numerology, 45 years and then repeat. And then let's say that, for me, astrologically, if you see, it is Venus Dasha. And numerologically, if you see, it is Venus Dasha.
Both are
Now,
accurate.
it is coincident. I mean, I
Nay,
can understand. But
nay, nay.
for people,
It's not. It's very highly coincidental. It's highly coincidental that both are Venus. But most of the times, the way it happens is you're going Sun Dasha in the Vimshotri astrologically, and in numerology, you're having a Rahu Dasha. And
hmm.
believe me, sir, both of them are accurate. When you
So for
really,
which,
both
so
of
for
them are
prediction,
accurate. Yes,
so
because when you
how we will do the prediction?
what now I'm integrating these two branches of study, which is not, I mean, relevant to our course, but still I'll spend 2 minutes on this. In my research, what I've seen is when I map the results, they're absolutely accurate because the dasha of the numerology somehow resembles the antardasha of my main dasha or gochar or
Okay.
gochar, and I get similar results. My predictions come true both in numerology and both in astrology. But astrology is a mammoth, is an ocean. Okay, because after 45 years in numerology, dasha repeats. Okay, but
Hmm.
in astrological Vimshotri dasha, it's not like that. It's much. The astrology is the mother. Definitely, it's the mother. Most comprehensive results you will get from astrology. There's no. I'm not denying numerology's importance, but definitely when you map the results, numerology and astrological dashas, both of them will give you accurate predictions. As long as
So
you're
in that case,
analyzing.
Kiran sir, let's say Kiran sir, when he is going to predict, so he will predict based on astrology in that
Yes,
case.
yes. And you're predicting using numerology. If you're using all the principles of Vedic numerology correctly, you'll get it correct. Because what I've seen is somewhere or the other, what prediction numerology is giving is somehow it is mapping to the Antardasha predictions or Gochar predictions, and it is accurate. See, we are talking about the elephant. You are holding the trunk, I am holding the tail. But the elephant is the same.
Hmm.
But for me, elephant is like a fat and a cylindrical figure, and for you, elephant is like a thin and a soft object like a rope.
But
Okay.
sir, do you have any sort of notes on this dasha that I mean, whatever in the last class, I mean, you talked about that fire sign, earth sign, and then movable peaks. So I mean, that characteristics and all, as well as
I'll give you
Mahadasha.
before the end of the course. I'll give you at least the summarized notes. I'll give you
Yeah, summary. Yeah, that's what.
summarized notes. I'll give you, but you have to keep it in mind that the dasha is very important. Okay, predictions you do from Chara dasha or Ashtotri dasha or Vimshotri dasha or numerological dasha or even Losho, even for that matter, Losho grid is fine, is absolutely correct. You'll get correct results as long as you're
But
doing
in
it.
Losho, sir, I mean, sorry to interrupt. I mean, especially for Kiran sir, let me tell you, sir, for Losho, there is a tool called Pinnacle. You
Yes,
must you
yes,
must heard
yes.
about
Yeah.
Pinnacle.
I heard. Yes,
And you know that Pinnacle is so strong,
yes,
and based on that, I was
yes,
wondering.
yes,
I
yes,
mean,
yes.
if at all I get an opportunity, I will definitely bring notice to Kiran sir.
Yes,
He will
yes.
understand that it's a tool kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, you
yeah.
just put the date of birth.
Yes.
It will give you based on the destiny
Ha ha.
dasha. That is here that I mean in astrology dasha comes with the date of birth, that is year
Correct.
of birth, and then it starts. But
Correct.
whereas for Pinnacle, it is just opposite. It is based on destiny, and
Correct.
it gives. I mean, there are four layers in
Yes,
life,
yes, yes. Four
and
numbers of pinnacle. Yes. It divides
yes,
your
and
life into four parts.
yes, and then I mean, I have checked myself as well, and many people, and I
Yes.
predicted,
It's
and it
accurate.
went accurate.
Yes, yeah. That's what I'm telling you. Whatever system you may use, it's pretty accurate as long as you're using the system correctly.
Mm.
as long as you're using system correctly, it will coincide, it will come. But the point is, see, about the same aspect of life, it is highlighting different dimensionality. Okay,
Correct.
astrology goes deeper and deeper, but the predictions will be right. Suppose I want to predict about, say, August month in this year 2025, I will get correct predictions with Losho, with Vedic, Ank Jyotish, with astrology, with Nadi. I'll get correct predictions definitely. Okay, so so the point I want to, why I am telling you this is, one technique which I'm going to tell you: when the dasha comes, make dasha as the lagna lord, and then you analyze the principles.
Okay.
Okay, make dasha as the lagna lord. With respect to dasha, everything changes. Okay, I'll tell you a simple example. I'll show you with an example. That is the reason I've been discussing all these things. Okay, for example, let us say a very very hypothetical case I'm taking. Okay, now let us say, this is Ajay Devgan's chart. Okay, let's not go in actuals into actuals of Ajay Devgan's life and all, but this is just an example chart. Now, when I want to see, for example, is Shani Dasha is starting from, say, 2020, 5 to 20 years ahead, 18, 19 years ahead. Okay? When Shani Dasha starts, this becomes the first house. Make this as the first house. Okay? Now, for example, the Lagna is Karka Lagna. Okay? Rashi is Kanya Rashi, right?
Mm.
Okay. Now, when Shani Dasha starts, generally we look at the Lagna chart, we look at the uh, chart with the Kanya Rashi as the first house. But when Shani Dasha starts, make this as the Lagna Lord. You press here in Astro Sage app, and this becomes the first house. Okay, I'll manually do it and show it for you. You understood, na? His chart basically is Karka Lagna Kanya Rashi, right? So when we have what we have studied, when we are even Sudarshana, yeah, chakra, what we do it, we take the Lagna Patrika, Lagna chart, we take the Chandra chart, and we take the moon chart, sun chart, and Lagna chart, ascendant, and we analyze. But what I'm telling you is, I'm telling you to take the Dasha Lord chart. Okay, are you following me?
Yes.
Okay, tell you simple example. I'll show it to you manually. You'll understand it. Now, what which Shani Dasha is starting. Now, where is Shani sitting now in his chart? Which
In
Rashi? 10th house.
Capricorn.
Which Rashi? Rashi.
No, no. Rashi is in Aries.
Aries, right? Rashi is in Aries. So you take an Aries chart.
But Aries is debilitated, na, sir.
No, 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 debilitated, exalted. Those things we don't want, sir. What I'm telling you is,
Okay.
take an Aries chart. Okay. Take an Aries chart. Okay, you have an Aries chart. Okay, Lagna, the first house should be Aries, correct? Blank chart, I've taken it to be Aries. Now, what you do, you fill the planets which are there in Aries. What is there in Aries? Saturn, right?
Mm.
So fill Saturn in this. Okay. Now go to the Next Rashi. 2, 3, 4 are 2, 3, 4, 5 are vacant. 6 has Ketu, Moon and Jupiter. 6 Rashi has Ketu, Moon and Jupiter. Ketu, Moon, Jupiter. Correct?
Mm.
I'm getting a different chart now. Sixth Rashi has Ketu, 6 number Rashi has Ketu, Moon and Jupiter. 7 is empty. 8 has Mars. 8 has Mars. 9 is empty, 10 is empty, 11 is empty. 12 has Rahu, Venus, Sun, Rahu, Venus, Sun, Mercury.
Mm.
Rahu, Venus, Sun, Mercury. Which one? I'm sorry. 12. 12 number Rashi is Rahu, Venus, Sun, Mercury. Rahu, Venus, Sun, Mercury. Okay?
Mm.
Kiran sir, are you following? Okay? And again, we are back to 1. Now, I am talking with respect to Shani Dasha. When Shani Dasha is starting, this is the chart I need to look at. Along with Sun, Moon, Lagna, Navamsha, Dashamsha, I'm analyzing all that Nadi principle, whatever chart I'm analyzing. But I urge you, you look at the Saturn chart and trust me, it gives you mind blowing results. Mind blowingly accurate results. Because everything has changed with respect to Saturn. Everything has changed with respect to Saturn. For example, if I look at your chart, I will tell you, we will do that exercise. I will tell you why things are changing the moment this particular dasha started for you. Because the most powerful planet becomes the dasha lord. The 19 years of Saturn dasha, this is going to be your Kundali, not the Chandra chart, not the Sun chart, not the Lagna chart. That gives you in your overall life what are the good yogas you have, what are the bad yogas you have, and how your life is going to be. Okay, but if I want specifically in Saturn dasha, and one more exercise, even Antardasha you make a chart like that. Say make another chart with Antardasha. For example, in Shani Mahadasha, you are having say Venus Antardasha.
Sir, Antardasha, how many months or years it will go?
It divides, sir. It gets divides depending on calculations. It's not fixed like numerology.
Oh.
It's not fixed. Depending on the dasha, Antardasha, certain calculations. See, generally Venus has the dasha of 20 years. So Venus Antardasha lasts for 2.5 years like that. 2.5, 3 years. Okay, Sun has the dasha period of 6 years. So Sun Antardasha is the smallest. You understand, na? So certain calculations, it's not fixed. But the bigger planets like Jupiter has 16 years dasha, Rahu has 18 years dasha. So Rahu Antardasha proportionally, okay, will be for a longer period. It will be proportional to the dasha period of that. You understand, na?
Mm.
So what happens? What happens is for Antardasha also you make a similar kind of a chart, and you start making predictions, and trust me, it will be mind blowingly accurate. So if I want to, if in Saturn Mahadasha, Venus Antardasha will be starting. So what I will do, I will make Venus as the Lagna. So I will write 12 in this particular thing, in this particular chart, I'll write 12 here, matlab Meena Lagna, and I will write the planets, and I will write all the planets in the Rashis corresponding planets, and I look at the chart from that perspective. And for that period of 2.5 years, how much ever it may last, Venus Antardasha, these things will be functional, but the deciding factor, the final yes, the final approval has to be given by the Saturn. That means by this chart. The final approval.
So if you take sir 12 as a for Lagna during Antardasha, then how this will move? I mean that Rashi.
Okay,
For
I'll
example, 12, yeah, I mean, just for understanding that how you are
yeah,
shifting
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
Rashi, because
I'll make the chart and I'll show it to you. Don't worry.
hmm,
Because this is very very important, because same thing we'll be using in Nadi also. We will make Saturn Lagna, we'll make Venus Lagna, we'll make Jupiter Lagna, and then we'll analyze, because we don't have Lagna concept in Nadi. That is the reason I'm emphasizing. And even Dasha you should know, because without Dasha, if you're analyzing, then your results may vary, because it's a very complicated
sir,
analysis.
can you please show me that what is for example, either Devagaji or our myself also. Can you please
I'll tell you. Let us take the Venus Dasha. Now I draw the Venus blank chart. I take the Venus blank chart and I put all the planets accordingly. Now Venus, Meena Rashi. Sorry, not Venus, Meena Rashi. Venus is there here. Na? So Meena Lagna I make it. And what are the planets in Meena? Rahu, Venus, Sun, Mercury. Arre, what did I do?
Okay, okay, understood, understood. Then one you will put Saturn, and then again six you will put.
Exactly.
Okay, understood. No need, sir. I
No
mean,
need.
if at all Kiran sir wants, but I understood, sir.
Okay, where did this go?
I also understood, sir. But thing is, accordingly, how we can predict. Yeah, that is important. Yes. You have a point, Kiran sir. I
Okay.
mean, sir, 1 minute, sir. I mean, before you go to this 12th Lagna,
Uh-huh.
means Min Lagna, can you go back to the Ajay Devgan's started from Saturn in Lagna and prediction? I mean, that one or two,
Yeah,
how we will predict.
I'll tell you, sir. I
Yes.
don't know why
What Kiran
mouse.
sir is asking.
Okay. Now,
This
now if I want to make predictions for the
Mhm.
Mahadasha, okay. Now see, let us look at this one. This one you understood now. Now this is the chart of Ajay Devgan. When Saturn Dasha comes,
This is
this
D1 chart.
no D1 chart only. D1 chart I made this particular house as the Lagna. In
That's what
D1,
this is D1 chart, but we are watching that
sir,
as per Dasha, we are watching as a Shani as a D1 chart.
listen. It may be D1, it may be D10, it may be D9, whatever it may be, or D1 or D30. Make the
Okay.
Dasha Lord as the Lagna Lord and look
Okay.
in perspective to that particular planet. Apply this to divisional charts also. This is slightly irrelevant to the course, but I'm still telling you. If you apply this to divisional charts also, make the Lagna Lord as the make the Dasha Lord as the Lagna Lord, and then look in perspective to that particular Dasha Lord. You will get very accurate results. For example, now for Ajay Devgan in Shani Mahadasha, I will not look at the Chandra chart, moon chart, this chart, that chart. I will look at this particular chart. This is the chart which is operational for him for this many years.
20 years or 19 years.
Yeah. Shani Dasha goes on for 19 years.
Mhm.
Shani Dasha goes for the period from say from 2020 or 2000 to 2019. That's hypothetical example. Shani Dasha is going for an individual. This chart is the most important thing. That means second house will be this, sixth house will be this, eighth house will be this, 12th house will be this. These are going to be the characteristics. Okay, to make one or two simple predictions. Now the first house. Tell me something about the first house and the
That is,
planet.
he will focus. Yeah, he will focus. I mean,
No.
body wise,
Saturn is in what state? In first house.
first house. Yeah,
What state?
that is state in the sense karma.
No. Is it in good strength, bad strength? What state it is in?
So Saturn has a bad state. Saturn in Lagna, that is in Aries Lagna, they will not get along.
No. It is debilitated.
Debilitated, yeah.
Saturn is debilitated. Saturn is neat. So in Saturn Dasha, the first house Karaka Tattvas, that is health, recognition, all these things will suffer. He will have health problems in the Saturn Dasha.
So
First house
health
is
means that is, I mean, any particular like Saturn, if at all it is Saturn, that will go below the navi, like or rather below the knee kind of stuff. That is leg pain or
yes,
something like that,
yes,
or
because
it is related to Mars.
no, see, first house is both, both. You're absolutely right. because the Rashi is the house of Mars. So
Correct.
Mars related problems will be there, head related, skull related problems will be there, migraine, headache will be there, Saturn
Eyes,
related problems. No, ice is the 12th house and the second house, Sun and Moon and Venus, ice.
Sun, Moon, and Venus,
Ha.
eyes. Huh?
Venus is retina, Sun and Moon are for male, Sun is right eye, Moon is left eye. For female,
Sir, 1 minute. This is very important for me.
ha.
So, sun, you said for male, it is
Sun
the right eye,
Sun is right eye, Moon is left eye.
right eye,
Left eye.
and moon is for male,
Left eye.
it is left eye. And how about
Female, reverse.
female
Female,
opposite?
reverse, opposite. Okay? And when you look at the bhavas, the second bhava is the right eye, the 12th bhava is the left eye.
Sorry, here you said sun and moon,
Both are applicable. We have to see both.
and the 12 house, 12 house is related to moon. That means it is left for male.
No, for both, male, female, for the bhavas is the same. For planets, it is reverse. Second bhava is the right eye, 12th bhava is the left eye. For an individual, male, female, same. Okay, so in Shani Mahadasha, I can very easily say this particular individual will have health issues. He may even suffer bad reputation. Profession is going to be down in this particular period. Can I say that?
Yes,
Why? Because Saturn is the
debilitated.
10th lord. 10th lord is getting debilitated in the first house. That means by the actions of the self, by the actions of my body, my profession will get affected. Or you can,
Sir, we may say because of the health also, sir.
yes, because of health also. Very good. I was about to say that. Because of my bad health, I am unable to work. Because I am taking rest most of the time, I am unable to work. Okay. Ketu in the 6th house, Moon in the 6th house, Jupiter in the 6th house. Moon also is signifying health issues. Ketu will signify backbone issues. There can be disputes and litigation also because Ketu in the 6th house causes that. But I have a strong 8th house. I have a very, very strong 8th house. I can expect ancestral property and unearned wealth because Venus is looking at it exalted. So that is another additional factor. The second lord exalted and 12th lord looking at it, looking at the 8th lord. I can get income from my wife, from my in-laws. Okay. There are many planets sitting in the 12th house. There are many planets sitting in the 12th house. 4 planets. So my expenses are going to be high. My hospital visits are going to be high. I may spend considerable time in foreign. Okay, na? Now, if you make Ketu Mahadasha, then make this as the Lagna. This is the first house. Okay, so third house will be Mars, fourth house is this, fifth is this, sixth, seventh house is this. So there are going to be a lot of issues in the business, a lot of events in the business and in the marriage. It could be bad, it could be good. When I take Ketu to the first house in Ketu Mahadasha, my 7th house is going to be this particular house, Meena. So predictions will change accordingly. Are you understanding?
Mm.
You understanding my point? You
Understood.
Because when particularly it is applicable for Dasha. Antardasha also you do it, but Antardasha, see, Antardasha proposes, Dasha disposes. That's the only principle I will say. Now it will signify and Dasha disposes. It is going to propose lot of results, but as long as the Dasha Lord, Dasha chart is favorable to those results, it will fructify. If it is anti to those results, it will not fructify. For example, the Dasha says, don't purchase a house. There is no purchasing of property in this particular Dasha. Now, Antardasha is forming a minor yoga of property purchase. But because it is anti to this, he will make attempts. Okay? He will make attempts in those direction. He will see some properties, but that event will not fructify. Because final yes has to come from the Dasha Lord. That is the reason I am telling we have to look at Dasha Lord even for Nadi. But Nadi is in itself very complete. When we see that, Nadi is complete in itself, but still I urge you to look at the Dasha also, because when certain Dasha events are manifesting and the Nadi is giving an opposite result, then there is a contradiction.
Okay.
But pure Nadi practitioners will not agree to me. They will say that no, no, Nadi is all complete. But what I feel is, my approach is, everybody has their own approach and everybody's approach is correct. I look at everything. I'll even look at numerology. Numerology Dasha also I look, and then try to analyze the overall picture. Okay, when the Mars Dasha comes, the Scorpio is going to be here 8, and Mars is in a very strong position. So Mars Dasha, the health is going to be very good for this individual, because Mars in its own Rashi, the body becomes Mars.
But sir, in this case, sir, what sort of remedy we can give it to Ajay Devgan?
All the remedy has to be according to this chart, not the moon chart, because here Mars is becoming malefic, some planet, moderate planet, neutral planet. Ketu is in a malefic position. Okay, Venus is also activating 12th house. The see Venus, which was very good for me till yesterday, from today it is activating 12th house. Isn't life so? Till now, my wife was very nice, and today now she's threatening to put a case on me. Venus has gone to the 12th house. It is causing me expenditure. And till last year, Venus, my wife was generating money and giving to me. Now she's costing me expenditure, hospital expenses, high spending. Persons change. You understand? And my younger brother also is in a negative position, because third house is getting debilitated over here. When
So
the Saturn,
that we will do as per the D1 chart. That D1 chart, Saturn was sitting in 10th house.
yes,
And based on D1 chart, we will check the dasha.
yes, D1 chart, make the Dasha Lord as the Lagna Lord and make predictions according to that. You understand? Say, for example, in a particular Dasha, this particular Ketu is coming to the 10th house. So, during this period, you should do something in occult. Because Ketu, Moon, both are occult, intuition. And Jupiter is also religion. And if suppose it is coming here in a particular Dasha, hypothetically, in the 10th house, so that time, that's the exact thing. Now, for Saturn, this is the 10th house. For Rahu, the 10th house would be 7, 8, 9, 10. Dhanu becomes the 10th house. So in Rahu Dasha, he should do something related to education or Jupiter or consulting or something like that. You understand? As the Dasha Lord, Dasha Lagna changes, the 10th house is changing now, obviously. So for every Dasha, the profession is changing now. Or the nature of the same profession is changing. You are in the same company, same designation, but your job responsibilities are different. Okay, so let's
Yeah,
quickly.
for me, I told you, right? For me, after 22 years of my
Yes.
profession, it got changed suddenly.
Yes, now we'll look at your chart and I'll prove it to you. I will show it to you. There must be some major change in the Dasha. That is the reason it's happening. And that too, when the Dasha changes, immediately in the first Antardasha, it may not manifest. It may manifest in the second or third Antardasha. You understand? Because that Antardasha is still supporting the previous profession. Suppose you are having a Rahu Dasha now. Rahu Dasha, you are into finance. Okay, the first Antardasha of say Jupiter's first Antardasha and second Antardasha, Jupiter's first Antardasha is Jupiter only, but whatever, first and second Antardasha is still supporting finance. So even Jupiter Dasha, for the first 4 years, you will continue with the previous profession only. Third Antardasha will start give the changes. You understand? Na? So immediately it may not. Gochar may trigger it. There may be a delay, or immediately after the Dasha it changes. Generally, what I've observed is, as long as the moment the Dasha is activated, right, that day, that month, changes will start happening. But again, you'll have to consider Gochar and so many other things also. It's a multi-dimensional thing. So let's quickly complete Kark blank chart analysis. Okay, you understood this, na? Isn't this a very, very beautiful concept?
Yes, yes.
Kiran sir?
This is concept actually, you are right.
Kiran sir?
Yes, sir.
Does it make sense? Now your Shani Dasha is going on, na? Put Shani as the Lagna Lord, and from with respect to Shani, you start making predictions. You'll be zapped. You'll be zapped. You'll be shocked the kind of predictions it gives. Okay, now Kark we are doing, na? Kark
Yeah.
Lagna is Kark. It may be Rashi Lagna. If Lagna is over here, then it will have a more. I think, sir, we did Kark, na? We completed. Water content is more and all.
Yes.
So let's do Simha. Okay, Leo Lagna. Okay, generally fire signs are there. Okay, what are fire signs? Dhanu, Simha, and Mesha. When fire signs are there, when the fire element is more, the person will have more leadership skills, initiative. Person is recognized among people, and he will have more ego. Particularly, Leo has the maximum ego out of all the Rashis. When Leo Lagna comes, when Leo Rashi comes in the first house, the person tends to be egoistic. It may be Lagna, it may be Rashi, unless they are nullifying factors. Okay? Generally, Simha Lagna people are egoistic. Ego becomes their major prerogative for Simha people. Okay? More so for Simha Rashi and less for Simha Lagna. But still, because Lagna is the body, because it's a fire sign, and Sun is the lord of this, the heat, you know, the Rajo Tattva, the heat is more inside the person's body. They'll have hot bodies. The temperature of the person in a fire sign will be slightly more than water sign people. You can actually physiologically check this. Physically, you can check it and do a research on with the thermometer. People of this particular Rashis, particularly Simha, will have more temperature. Okay, 2-3 degrees at least more. They are hot headed. Okay, because the body entire body becomes hot, these people may have BP issues also, anger issues also, because entire body is hot, even with the Mesha. Okay, generally these are high on ego. Okay, more so for Rashi, less so for Lagna. Now quickly tell me which are the Karaka planets for this particular Lagna Rashi.
One is Sun.
Yeah, Sun. Yes, correct. Second one.
That is favorable planet you are saying, right?
Yeah, the functional benefic.
Yeah. So for fifth, the Sun is there. Then Moon.
Moon is malefic, sir.
How?
12th lord, na? Vyashthan. It is increasing expenses. So you can comfortably say for a Simha Lagna Rashi person, his mother will give him expenses or have health issues. Or he will spend money on mother's medical expenses, hospital expenses. And trust me, you will be right. To what percentage may differ. It may be 90%, it may be 50%, it may be 20%, but definitely mother's health expenses, the son will bear. That is the beauty of blank chart analysis. Okay, Kiran sir, tell me, I'm expecting from you most Karaka
Mars.
planet.
100. Mars, sir.
More than Mars. More than Mars. The
More
most
than Mars.
Karaka planet.
Venus?
No, sir, not
Venus is
Venus.
Mars, sir. Neutral. Venus is neutral.
Sir, the
2 and
most
7.
Karaka planet is Mercury, being the second lord and the 11th lord. Fantastic combination. Second and 11th, Dhanasthana. If Mercury is a personal friend of Simha. He is a personal friend, very good friend. Naturally, also, they are very good friends. Functionally, also, they are in very good position. So it is having double advantage. That's what I'm telling you. As the number of positive factors increase, okay, the strength increases. The number of negative factors increase, the strength reduces. It is also
No,
natural.
but for six is that is six Rashi, right? In six Rashi,
Six
Lord
Rashi.
is
Mercury.
Mercury. That's what you are saying.
Yeah, Mercury is natural friend of Sun. Very good friends. and also the second lord and the 11th lord. Okay, because of which, if Mercury is even in little dignity, it will give fantastic results for Sun. Fantastic results for a Simha Lagna.
So that means Mercury and
Mercury is the most benefic, sir. Most benefic is Mercury for a Simha Lagna. Now, see, for example, a combination like this, Mercury over here exalted, what phenomenal results this will give. 15 degrees Mercury in Virgo. Phenomenal results
exalted in Virgo.
at 15 degrees. Now look at the kind of family he'll come from, kind of money he will have, kind of communication this person will have. Okay. Next, what about Venus? Is it malefic, benefic, neutral?
Neutral.
Neutral. Fine. Very good. Because third lord and the profession lord. Okay. So generally, I will say the Leo people will have a problem in their professions. Not necessarily. It's a very general statement. Generally, they'll have a problem in with the profession because the lord of the profession, the bosses, and the Leo person will not get along well. Venus and Sun, they don't get along well. Can you tell me why? Because most of the time, Simha Rashi people are filled with ego. They cannot accept authority. They'll always have a problem with bosses. You take 100 Leos and talk to them. They cannot accept domination on them. They will die. They will leave 100 crores orders if they have to, be subservient to a client.
That seventh, that is third house, if you see, that is also Venus, right?
That's also Venus.
Lord,
That's also malefic. Okay. But natural enmity is there. Even functionally, this is a negative house. Functionally, this is a positive house. So it's making Venus neutral and natural enemy. But again, Simha Rashi people will generally have problem in their career because of their ego. You observe, you go and do the statistical research.
but sir, for Cancer, you didn't mention about the malefic, malefic as well as benefic planets.
I didn't mention.
No.
Okay.
Kiran sir, I don't know that if at all you have noted down something I missed. No.
Okay, let's quickly do it. Okay, benefic is Sun, obviously second lord. Okay, Mercury is most malefic. Mercury most malefic because he is the enemy of Chandra, natural enemy. Also third lord, 12th house lord, most malefic, and also natural enmity between Moon and Mercury. Now Venus is the lord of the fourth house and the 11th house. 11th house. So most benefic, though is the natural enemy of Moon, Venus is giving fantastic, benefit. So most of the Kark Lagna people will have benefit from their mother. You go and observe it; it will be correct. Kark Lagna people will have financial benefit or ancestral property coming from their mother, and they will have good vehicles, fast moving vehicles, luxury vehicles, status symbol vehicles like Mercedes and these kind of vehicles in their own level. For a middle class person, status may be Maruti Ciaz, status may be Scorpio. For a very high class person, the status may be Audi, and a higher class, the status may be Rolls Royce. So in his level, he will rise above the rest of the people in terms of vehicles. The Karkarashi people will have good property, tendency for good property. Again, Venus is litigated into the sixth house, then it will have property issues. But generally, they are blessed with property. Mother will be beneficial to them. Now look at Mars. Mars is very benefic. It is friend of Karkarashi, also the fifth lord and also the 10th lord. Most benefic planet, and also a personal friend of Moon. Okay. Now, when you look at Jupiter, Jupiter becomes the sixth lord and the ninth lord. Ninth is good, sixth is again problematic. So, I will consider this as a neutral planet. But it is a friend of Moon. Jupiter and Moon are very good friends. They really gel well with each other. that is there, but still it is Rogakaraka, Runakaraka. So Jupiter is neutral. If you look at Saturn, this is also neutral. Okay, seventh lord, eighth lord. Generally, these people will have wives who look older than them, wives who are more matured, less romantic, more duty oriented wives they will have. Karkarashi people, you go and observe it. Okay, and also eighth lord, so that is giving stress. So generally, Karka Lagna people, and Saturn is don't gel very well with moon. So Karka Lagna people generally will have problematic married life. Okay, the intensity of problem may vary, and again the strength of Venus is there. Suppose Venus is sitting over here and looking at the seventh house, and it is nullifying, a niche bang is happening, but definitely they will have a more matured spouses. Okay, and slight tincture of difference is there. Okay, Jupiter, Mars, Venus, and Mercury. Yeah, we have covered. You can look at the recording and note it down because I've gone a bit fast.
Yes, yes.
Okay, now shall we get back? Debashish ji, was it too fast?
No, 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 it's okay.
It's fine, na? Because I wanted to cover Simha today.
Yeah.
Shall we get
Please.
back to Simha?
Yeah, yeah, please, sir.
Okay. Now, Simha, most benefic planet is Mercury because it is also a personal friend and it's also fantastic houses it is having. So, Mercury in the Kendra Trikona houses will give you phenomenal results for a Simha Rashi person. Phenomenal results. Okay, Mercury is neutral, Mars is extremely benefic for a Simha Rashi person. He will also get lot of benefit from his mother. Mother will act as a teacher to him. Mother will give him real estate. He may inherit property from mother. Okay, mother right from will be very inspirational character for a person right from his childhood because ninth lord is the teacher. Okay, for him both father and mother are very good mentors for him because here Mars is the teacher, Mars is here, mother is also owning the particular ninth house, signifying the ninth house. So mother and father extremely good mentors and very benefic is Mars. Mars and Sun get along very well. So again, it's a natural friendship. So Mars is very benefic. Mercury is very benefic. Jupiter is again having a neutral relationship because it is the lord of the fifth house and also the 12th house. Okay, and but Jupiter and Sun get along very well. They're very good friends. So this person is likely to have problem in education because Jupiter is 50% is the fifth lord. So this is education favoring house and 50% is the eighth lord. This person will have an issue. You look at Leo people, they are very intelligent, they may do very well, but they may take a break in education or they may in their education career there may be certain jolts. Definitely it will be, or it could be simply stressful. Simply it could be stressful. He didn't have any break, but it was very stressful for them. Certain years were very stressful. And that will be correct because even I am Simha Rashi and this is correct. My education was very good, but it gave me a lot of stress. I had problems with my principals and other issues.
So Jupiter will be neutral, you mean to say?
Jupiter will be neutral. Okay. Now, if I look at Saturn, sixth and seventh lord, so this is also problematic combination. Okay. When the ego rises, this is a blind principle. I mean, it's a very general principle actually. When a person gets very, very egoistic, when he goes on the Rajas side, that fellow will have problem in his marriage. Okay, when the Pingala Nadi get activated a lot, he will have divorces. Workaholic people have divorces. Arrogant people have divorces. This is Kundalini Yoga, what I'm talking. When the Pingala Nadi gets activated, tend to get more divorces. Fire signs have more ego. So I'm telling you, this is a generic rule. Either their marriage will suffer or their marriage will end. Okay, unless they rectify their ego, unless they reduce their ego, curb it. A person may be egoistic, but after marriage he has realized and he has done practices. Okay, he has suppressed his ego and become a neutral person, a better person, then the marriage will go on. But if he has not worked on his ego, the marriage. So this is applicable for Mesha, Dhanu and Simha. All the three Rashis, or when Sun is badly placed. Exalted Sun, any Rashi exalted Sun or debilitated Sun, they will have ego issues. Okay, so again, Saturn marriage life becomes a problem for Simha. You look at it generically, the magnitude may differ, but married life will be problem for Simha Rashis because Saturn and Sun they're cutter enemies, natural enemies, and Saturn is also activating the sixth house, the suppression, nullification of marriage happens with the sixth house. So Saturn definitely is going to give problem unless they are nullifying factors. I'm not saying all Leo Rashis will have divorce. Definitely not. But because of their high ego and because the wife who is the wife of the Simha is very much synonymous to Saturn. She's like a very, she's into service. She's into karma. She's a very hardworking person. She's not into ego and all. She doesn't want to boss around people. She will get on the floor and work. So they have a natural opposition in the nature, and also Shani is activating sixth house. So Leo people have bad marriages unless they work on their ego. In fact, all three fire signs. Okay, so I will consider Saturn also neutral. And if I Mars we have covered, Venus we have covered, Mercury we have covered, Moon we have covered. Moon again it is activating the 12th house. Okay na.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at some one chart of Simha. Quickly, we'll wrap it up after that. I think Shah Rukh Khan is a Simha Lagna. Ah, yeah. See, Shah Rukh Khan is a Simha Lagna. Okay, that means his physical body has more temperature, more active, but again, a hot body will always manifest on the mind. Okay, body will always have a manifestation. Mind, body, spirit, all three are connected. So when the heat increases inside the body, you tend to get a bit egoistic also. Okay, like I told you, see, the Saturn sitting in its own Rashi is giving stability to the marriage. All Simha Rashi people will not have a bad marriage. There may be differences, but they will not have a divorce because Saturn in his Mool Trikon Rashi very very powerfully placed. So fantastic marriage is good for this person. But if Saturn would have been over here, then you can imagine. Or Saturn would have been here in the 12th house. Just imagine what could happen. You understand? And for Shah Rukh Khan, his mother was definitely a mentor. Lot of if you read his autobiography, she has been very pivotal for his success and real estate property. Very good. Kendra house one
No,
is
real
Trikona
estate
house.
property because eighth Rashi. No, why real estate here it is
Fourth
some
house.
fourth house. Fourth house.
Fourth house, na? Fourth house
In
and
fourth house, Mars is there, na sir?
exactly. Mars is sitting in the Kendra house. The fourth lord and ninth lord sitting in Kendra house. So it is giving
But
him the
Mars is debilitated, right? In
no
fourth
no
house.
no 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 no
Mars
no no no.
is own that one, sir. Eighth and the first one.
In own
Mars
Rashi,
is
na.
own
You're telling
own
about
Rashi.
your what fourth house Mars is not comfortable. That's also correct. Your what you're telling is correct. But again, you'll have to look at the it is in its own Rashi. Mars is in its own Rashi. So it is
Where
very
it is?
strong. In
Where it is?
Scorpio, na? Mars in Scorpio.
Hmm.
Okay. So that's also a very good combination. And again, being the ninth lord sitting in Kendra house, Kendra lord in Kendra house or Trikona house, Rajyog.
No, ninth. No, no. Which chart you were? I mean, which one you were referring, sir? Ah, yeah. Okay.
Kendra lord in Kendra house or Trikona house is a Rajyog. Even he may be in enemy house. So you're right, Mars in the fourth house will not get that kind of strength, but doesn't matter. It's in own Rashi. And ninth lord in own Rashi, in Kendra house.
That is as per Kalpurusha only.
Yes.
You are saying fourth house.
Yes.
But
Kalpurusha.
as per this
Yes.
one,
Yes.
this is okay.
Yes, this is very good. You understand, na? So Jupiter again is in a benefic position. So it's fine. 11th house. He is the fifth lord and the uh, eighth lord sitting in 11th lord. That's also fine. It's nullified. But again, Sun is giving a malefic aspect. Okay. So maybe he had problem in his education. He must have had. Okay, Rahu exalted, Ketu exalted, Rahu exalted in 10th
But
house.
here, sir, here Sun is in third house. But how can he into movies? That means
Why not,
flight,
sir?
fighting.
Why not? Look at his career, which is the Karaka for movies. Venus,
Rahu.
Venus and Rahu. Where is
Exalted.
Venus sitting?
And Rahu also exalted.
Exalted Rahu. Venus is sitting in Trikona house. Exalted Rahu,
House.
mind blowing. Even
But
Rahu was exalted.
as per Kalpa's Kundali, ninth house is the Dhanush Rashi. In Dhanush, that means Jupiter's house, Venus is opposite sign, na? Jupiter and Venus.
Come again in Kalpurush Kundli, 9th house is Dhanu. Okay. Then,
Jupiter and Venus are both are against, opposite.
okay, fine. But that doesn't matter. They have different ideologies. But Venus Jupiter conjunction itself is a Rajyog. Because most benefic planets are Venus and Jupiter. Two gurus. Sir, we studied 36 number, remember? Deboshish
Yeah.
ji. 36 number, fantastic number. That person will have less interest in marriage because of they have lot of things to achieve. 3-6 combination. This is similar. Jupiter, Venus.
Three means Jupiter, 6 is Venus.
Yes. But
No, why
again,
that 3 here, it is coming in 11th house, whereas 9th Rashi, that means house-wise, if I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In 5th house and Venus is there, no?
no, don't analyze like that. 10th Lord sitting in a Trikona house. It may be enemy
10th
house.
Lord.
It may be
10th
enemy
Lord
house.
is Saturn, sir. 10th Lord is Saturn.
No. 10th Lord is Venus over here.
Venus.
Vrishabh is falling in the 10th house, na? 10th house is exalted. 10th Lord sitting in Trikona house, aspected by Trikona Lord. They may be enemies, doesn't matter. The enemy.
Ajay, here 10th Lord, how? Because 2 is sitting, Rashi 2.
Rashi number 2 is sitting in this house, so this becomes the 10th house. 10th Lord in Kendra Trikona is a Rajyog. 10th Lord exalted is a Rajyog. 5th Lord looking at the 5th house is a Rajyog. Okay. 5th Lord having a conjunction with 10th Lord by Drishti Sambandh is again a Rajyog. See, number of Rajyogs in one particular house. Look at the number of Rajyogs. Son is debilitated. His father expired very early in his life.
How?
Father died, sir.
Son-
Shah Rukh Khan's father. Son is debilitated here. Shah Rukh Khan's father died very early. And Mars is sitting with Ketu. Though in its own house, sitting with Ketu. Ketu is also end. Ketu khatam karta hai. Rahu shuru karta hai. This is Nadi principle. 9th Lord afflicted, son afflicted, person will not have the karaka of the father in his life. Either father will die early or the father will go off. Like he went to, Dubai, Middle East and is working there and you don't see father for 2 years. Even if they are not, parents are not divorced, the karaka of son will not be there.
But in this case, sir, I mean, we have to see from house-wise or Rashi-wise?
You have to see the natural karaka, also the functional karaka. Here, functional karaka, the 9th Lord is Mars. Mars is in his own house, but sitting with Ketu. Okay, again, degree wise we have to analyze. Let's not get into it right at this point of time. Let's only look at the blank chart. Again, Dwadashamsha also we need to check. We cannot conclude only with D1, but I'm just telling you for your educational curiosity. Sun debilitated, Mars with Ketu. You see the result. And Sun and Saturn having a Drishti Sambandh. Saturn is the enemy. Sun and Saturn are enemies. And Saturn is the 6th Lord. 6th Lord is looking at the Sun. So again hammer strokes. One hammer stroke after another hammer stroke. Sun is suffering. The 9th
No,
Lord
how
is...
come, sir, how you are saying that Saturn is in 6th house?
6th Lord. Sir, Capricorn. 6th Lord, sir, Saturn. Makar Rashi, na? Owner of Makar Rashi, Saturn.
Capricorn, huh?
So it is giving a Drishti Sambandh to Sun, na? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In Nadi, every planet has trine aspects also. So ninth drushti it is putting on sun. And again, Dwadashamsha also would have been weak. That's why his father passed away very early.
Mhm.
See, sun debilitated itself means you will have issues with the father. Again, you'll have to reconfirm, you have to analyze the entire chart in its entirety to understand the extent of problem. Okay, sun gets debilitated at 10 degrees. Check the degree wise debilitation. Then you check, are there any malefic drushtis happening? What is the nakshatra in which sun is dispositioned? And how is Dwadashamsha? How is ninth lord? You check the how is ninth lord of the Dwadashamsha? How is sun in Dwadashamsha D12 chart? When you look at all these factors, you will understand there'll be little problem or more problem. But when sun debilitated, problem will be there. Sun debilitated problem will be there with the father. Okay, sir, we'll close. I'm already late. I've put the
Okay,
class for
right, sir.
12:30 because
Okay, sir.
I wanted to complete this particular concept because Leo, we have understood, na?
Yeah.
Simha, we
All
have
right, got
understood.
answer.
Sir, tell me, sir.